They're not scared of the big stage. It's time to prove it.
Pistol round is live. Spirit is going to be attacking into the defensive Falcons. A little bit of utility, Molotov, 2 smokes for Team Spirit to use to break into the bomb site, and it's quickly. It's a little bit of a movement towards this A bomb site. 4 players going to be tacking in where there's a stack. Falcons are ready. Initial engagement is a stalemate. Running out of ammunition, and now the Glock's going to swing the corner.
And that just retreats, gets back into position. Cake is his spot, and he'll stand and he'll fight, eventually taken out by Donk. Falcons were flawless on pistols mostly yesterday, but this time Spirit are giving them a taste of their own medicine, coming out swinging into this A-bomb site. And they put Snappy left in a 1v2 clutch. He runs right back in, and that headshot draws it down to just Donk, and he steps up in his first round on the stage.
Nice triple kill, 3-0. That'll help calm down the nerves. A solid pistol round to get you comfortable, to get you ready for what's coming next. Almost a pistol round victory or clutch for Snappy as he comes through the smoke. He's able to take down Shiro, which is a player of his stature, probably not used to the amount of attention he's not getting at this point. He's one of the best offers in the world. His transfer over to Spirit has obviously made them an instant contender, but it's Donk who's got everyone's eyes glued to him, and Shiro gets to operate a little bit into the shadows.
Falcons have gone for the force. We've seen them win this many times yesterday versus ENCE. But throughout the group stages, Team Spirit have been playing the best Counter-Strike so far at this event. Should be more difficult to make something happen with the 5-7s.
Yeah, and you have to know, I mean, having watched these games from Falcons, having seen the quarterfinal yesterday, that this force buy going to be coming out. This is something you can expect. So they open it slow and cautious and perform basic map control. Molotov in towards Dark to force back the defense, and now Falcons want information. They have no idea what's happening on the map. A quick peek, they don't see magics. They're going to be able to shift off.
Very composed start from the T side of Team Spirit. Not looking rattled. They'll gather up in mid. Matt and Mixes move off that angle at the wrong time. 45 seconds remaining in this round, and Team Spirit have got that mid control.
Yeah, they've just found great timings on every single move that they've made, and just now, Falcons about to realize they're at the wrong side of the map.
Magic, open your eyes. There he is right in front of you. Magix eventually gets that kill. And that was the only A player. Team Spirit into the side. Bomb's going to go down, no issue. And if you're Falcons here, you've invested to play for the win. You didn't get that opportunity, so save the weapons on the other side of the map.
I think one of the interesting things coming into this matchup as well, we just heard in the pre-interviews, was we heard it from Matt and we heard it from Magis. I mean, essentially verbatim. And that, for me, I mean, the way they talk about Donk is just like, he's going to get his rounds. He's going to have his moments. He's going to break us a couple of times. He's going to do something special. We just have to accept it and not get frustrated by it. And that, I think, is a concept that, obviously, with the two of them saying it essentially the same exact way, is a message that has been sent to them by the team, that has been something they want to latch onto and just say, this is going to happen. And if you expect it, you don't get weighed down by it.
So it's his turn to take a swing at the Wonder Kid. And it was quite frightening to see Donk stand there for a moment and have to be ushered off by his teammates as he stared down into the crowd. He didn't move off the angle. He didn't look shaken.
No, both him and Zontix have been very vocal about how they're not really concerned about how they're going to perform on the stage. They don't think it's going to add a whole lot of pressure. Now, we've seen players say that before in the past, yes, and it's gone the other direction. So this is all about a discovery. This is all a little bit of a journey to see what kind of a Team Spirit is going to show up in this environment. They're out to a 2-0 lead, so everything's good at this point. Falcons in the next round will be able to mount a little bit more resistance, and this is a very similar, identical setup to the previous round. They'll find a timing for this flash peak. Unfortunately for them, it's pretty much identical from Team Spirit's opening as well.
Controlled. But Falcons can take a few more risks in this one because they know they're getting the buy in the next round. So we'll see these pistols take a swing at Team Spirit. Donk taking steps towards Dark. Forces Snappy away. Donk now swings, goes for that fight, receives some damage, deals some out. Changes the position because now it's about Team Spirit chopping through middle. First 2 kills are in. Supply stepping up in that 5-7. It's a swift double kill, but Magic needs to get this one if there's something to be had here, and it certainly looks like there's something available for Falcons. That headshot draws Magic's and the bomb.
This round is pretty much the same as previous, except for the fact the timing of when Falcons switch over to middle is just perfect. And even if they get the bomb, they're not going to want to traverse to the B bomb site. They're going to be coming right back towards A after they pick it up. And Magisk is already having a flank through A main. This round is exceptionally dangerous for Spirit.
Timing, looking back, jumping around that corner. Zontex goes down, so it's Donk up against his first real clutch.
And he called out Magisk specifically, saying Magisk with an Intel Grand Slam, with 4 major trophies, this guy would be interesting to go up against, and he's got his chance.
Magisk has been in this arena. He's lifted the major trophy on this stage, and now he goes up against a player taking his first steps on the stage itself. And he's moved out towards main. He's got the angle on him, making steps. Magic's nose, and Donk wins the clutch. That is delightful. That is divine.
Good win.
Donk. It's so sick to see him in a clutch. He never looks like he's going to lose a 50-50 duel.
We've touched so much on the confidence that he just exudes in the game of Counter-Strike, but I mean, in a round like this as well. Remember, Magisk was the only player to go down previously, so he had no armor, and I think Donk just knows he's got all the advantages, no cause for panic. Things looking good at the start for Team Spirit, but it's the first gun round, and Sunpius has his AWP on the CT side.
It's a good recovery, considering that was a force buy for Falcons, so now Spirit need to focus up and realize up against the guns for the first time, and it would be an absolute miss to not mention the performance that Madden had yesterday. He single-handedly broke apart Ence's dreams with that dual Beretta 1v3 clutch.
He had so many rounds on Nuke. He's the entire reason they're in this position. Here's Sunpius, Magisk creeping up closer. Oh, missed shot, and they can't double up. But now Madden comes back. He was injured from nades earlier, so what can he do?
Yeah, Donk just moves through. It's a big kill again, 6-0, yet to die. He is just looking so damn impressive in this moment, and that bomb is going down. Magix locks it through. Madden is the player trying to be elusive inside of the smoke, and he's got to be set up by utility here. Snappy looks to release him, but Madden maintains position behind the smoke, and a follow-up comes in, and that's enough to force them away. Falcons can't go for this one. They cannot compete in this retake.
That's a rough start with the ult for Sunpius, who was hit or miss yesterday as well. He's been pretty vocal about some of his struggles getting comfortable in CS2. We saw a ton of frustration yesterday on the stage. Someone who normally steps up in these moments, banging the desk, not having a good time of it. And obviously not getting the opening he would have liked. He's even passed over that ult for free to Shiro. So resources scavenged by Team Spirit, and they take a solid lead.
And we heard that the fans of the arena are definitely not the biggest fans of Team Spirit as a whole, but Donk, he got the cheers. There's a lot of people behind him. I was talking to many people around the concourse ahead of today's event and talking about yesterday, last night, and coming into the matchup today. And many people were just very excited about one player, just a single player.
He seems like, from what we've seen so far, and this is why it's so exciting to see if he's going to rise to the expectations here on the stage. It's just a phenom, a generational talent, and in a tournament where we've had a couple different, generational talent step up. Monesi on this stage in his first Katowice was absolutely incredible. Donk seems to be following in those footsteps, and this is the ultimate test. Started playing Counter-Strike at 4 years old. Round 5, it's 4-0.
I'll take a look at the individual battle between Sunpius and Shiro throughout this matchup when the ults come out for both players. Sunpius didn't have the classic stage performance yesterday, and Shiro can go missing in these kind of moments. So eyes will be fixed upon that. Needs go into middle. Once again, Chopper applying pressure. Donk will default outside of dark.
Little bit of spam through. Falcons don't know what's happening on the map. Spirit's lining up for an A execute. This time they've busted out of that default spread way earlier in the round, and on a nice timing, it's going to put a lot of weight on the Magisk. Smoke coming in, peeks before it, and there's Donk.
Yeah,
instantaneous headshot.
Magisk can't handle him right now. He cannot handle him. And this A site has fallen, and Falcons are locked out of this again. You can't really go for the retake. There was not enough damage done. You're not in a position to feel comfortable. And in fact, because Team Spirit have been so dominant at the start of this, they're hunting them down on the beaches. Snappy's not allowed to save. Falcons may be allowed the mercy of 3, but that push from Chopper's coming in through that B bomb side as well. So these weapons look like they're going to be cleaved out of their hands. And that would be an absolute disaster to kick off this game for Falcons. Chopper goes into the cave. Sampaius will stand stall, and he's got himself the white knuckle grip on his weapon. Desperately trying to hold on to it. Boris does the same, and they're doing a good job here, Falcons, at just pushing back this hunt.
Right, but I mean, you're still going to lose the round, and then you still have to be put in the situation. Zontix does find one, does find Boros, and Sampaius won't take that peek. It's all well and good. It's a silver lining to take a couple of those guns away from Team Spirit and keep at least one in the hands of Sampaius alive. But I mean, you're still down 0-5. You still didn't get to fight whatsoever in that round. It's just a nice A execute, a good timing for it. And for all the talk about how strong Donk is an individual player, obviously a good start, 7-1. We saw him with a great entry frag, but that's a tactical victory in the previous round. Back-to-back tactical victories where Falcons couldn't even go for the retake. It's so convincing on the start.
And it was yesterday that Falcons had their great, strong start to settle into the stage environment against ENCE. They've got a completely different story at the moment. Snappy trying to play aggressive on the CT side. He's fully committed into the canal. And Zontix is going for this peek. He wants to fight him, and he turns back. It's incredible from Zontix. The awareness and the composure to spin back and take that second kill.
And that's also Falcons flexing, saying we want to be able to dictate some action on the map. We've been letting Team Spirit play their game. Let's be disruptive. Let's get in their face and harass them a little bit. And it is just swatted aside like it's no big deal. 5-on-3 with over a minute in the round. And Team Spirit is in complete control. Sampaius is going to have to deliver if he wants to claw Falcons back into this round.
Magix has got, oh, it looked like, yeah, perfect timing. Might still have that opportunity. He receives the headshot first, but the AK-47 superior in that fight. Madden is going to be frustrated about that moment, and 40 seconds left. It's the two players on the other side of the map surviving for Falcons, and once again, Team Spirit head into A. They don't have a whole lot of money left over here, and Donk is pretty damn close to them. If he gets rid of this AWP, if he gets rid of this M4, Falcons have nothing.
That'd be a huge tool to find. No one's looking for this push at this timing from the B bomb site. So hot on their heels, and we saw how ruthlessly Spirit wanted the hunt in the previous round. It cost them a little bit of money, but Donk's going to go for it anyways.
Sampaius dropping a little further back. He's going to be flashed in here. Donk passing that back to Magix, who will have become very used to flashing Donk into place. Flash it perfect to get rid of Sampaius' angle. He tucks into the corner, and Donk has to realize that, but Sampaius holds stead. He's looking for this follow-up, just desperately trying to hold the weapon, and because of Magix's health, he doesn't feel confident going around that corner. So he'll stand away until the final moment, and we'll go for a spam and a swing at the end. Sampaius will not get his weapon. Nothing saved over for Falcons. There is no mercy on the server today.
Entirely worth it for Team Spirit. Entirely worth it to take away such a valuable weapon. And Falcons in an awkward economic situation. They'll have to make a decision during this second timeout they're using. This is Zonic, greatest coach of all time, trying to come up with solutions. It's a new team, it's a new roster. It's going to be difficult to overcome these hurdles. They're still figuring things out. And right now he's got to do it on the fly. Team Spirit running over Falcons.
Second timeout for Zonic already. He's burning through these quickly, and for good reason. This is the Falcons map pick. Now, we know how T-sided it can be. We know the CTs can suffer a slow start and find it difficult to get into the game, but we've seen Falcons try and throw a couple of different looks into the CT defense, and it's not like they're competing here. The majority of their kills are coming on exit frags, trying to save. They don't have the weapons for the job here, apart from the AWP of Sampaius, so that has to be the battering ram. And he's been detected early doors. Donk's turn. He has the same round again.
He's done this pretty much every time, whether it's Nate or Molotov in towards Dark, but we haven't, because they've had so much success elsewhere and they've fallen back into some A executes a number of times, he hasn't really had to aggress in towards Dark. They've won the round before he's really been needed to push into that position. He's just there to harass, to provide a little bit of pressure.
Sampaio realizes he has to take some risks. And that one's paid off. He goes around the corner, Zontix is taken out, and now Chopper feels like he can move through middle. In tandem, Donk takes dark control.
Yeah, but this is it feels like that was almost a go signal for Spirit on the other side of the map. However, they do call it off. Donk's got that position in towards dark.
You could get a second here too. Snappy's hiding behind the pillar, but how long can he hold it? He does step up. Donk is down, and Magic's down from Canal. It's a big kill up to the window, and he just detected Magic's too. Sampaio is rotating off. Remember, this was the only premium weapon alive. This off at the start of the round, and Sampaio nails that shot, goes back again, but this time brought down by Boris, and he is sharpening his butcher's knife. Drop into the site himself. It's a hefty clutch ahead of him.
Well, you got to start somewhere. Tapping the bomb, hoping to force someone into the open. Looking for camera. No one's coming through the smoke. Now you stick it, but your Molotov's about to fade.
Magic's looking to slice up Magic, and he's done it. No issue for him towards the back of the cake, and now he's separated it, but there's 9 seconds left. He's so damn close, enough time to plant. And Magic just sits back. Boris, the butcher, bludgeons them to death. What a moment for Magic inside of the Spodek. Falcons can't catch a break.
They got absolutely wrecked there. Never able to double up on that fight. 3v1, and they couldn't find any way to work together. An individual peak. This is alone as well. Snappy's left in the cold with no HP. Magic just works them.
It doesn't look like it bothered him at all.
And look, that's the round you come into it, basically with only an AWP. Hold the phone, a little bit of aggression. The off covers this push.
A whole lot of aggression, trying to be disruptive. It has worked out early doors for Falcons. 2 picks just like that. They wanted to run this earlier. It wasn't effective because Zontix took them down, but this time Boras walks too far. A step in the direction of Chopper, and he sweeps him under the rug.
That might have been too much when you already have a 5-on-3. Now you've created a hole in the defense that Magic is going to have to run back to plug. 3-on-4. As this finally Falcons getting on the board. Everything that has been able to go wrong has gone wrong for Falcons in this game.
They still stand ahead. But that extra heartbeat of Magic might fade away upon this A plate. Magic descends down the rugs. Madden coming back to help him. A completely different story in his performance today. 0 kills, yet to find impact. Smoked out at heaven, severed off from his teammate inside of the site. It's good damage. And this has set up Falcons in the final 30 seconds to be in the favorable position to close this one. Team Spirit not on the site yet. Finally, they take that step. Ball plant coming in. Chopper falls. Snappy gets a double. And now it's just Shiro in limited time. But a clutch ahead of him. If he had extra time, maybe there's a chance. But with that 10 seconds left on the clock and the shot for Sampaio, Falcons will not let this one slip.
Not at all. That is really well done. You have the man advantage. Smartly played. Smartly played, and finally Falcons have a round on the board, the first one for them. Another timeout, this one used by Spirit, their first. They've had no issues, and now, I mean, you have to say, still not really any issues, just a matter of not letting Falcons build upon this.
Keeping them out of the game entirely is going to be super difficult, especially because they have got so much experience in terms of finding solutions. Snappy over the last few years has been incredible at staying in games, finding that mid-game adaptation to keep them into it. They're a team that always come back when they were inside events. And they've been growing in this tournament. Falcons have been getting better and better with every match we see them. And Madden still yet to frag. It's Donk with that opening, predicts the movement in middle, and takes his time as he walks through the water.
I'll say in defense of Madden, this is really the only time he's had a great chance of getting involved in the action early. A lot of it has been him rotating in hopeless situations. Magisk is in a little bit of trouble though, because Chopper's found his way behind into the smoke. And Magisk didn't expect it, and when it clears, he's gone. 5-on-3 and all three defenders at the B bomb site, so they have to push forward. Boros is going to try and rotate back, blows a gap in the smoke, but not a comfortable fight.
And he drops back, plays the disciplined style. And now Team Spirit prepared to execute into an empty A site. Snappy's push is being detected, but that battle of the in-game leaders goes the way of the Dane.
Doesn't matter, they already have the bomb site, and it'll be interesting to see how much Falcon pours into this retake, because it's going to be smoked off at camera, no easy avenue back. Falcon still at the B bomb site. That might just be it. So far out of position, they don't want to risk the weapons. This game is falling flat just by how dominant Team Spirit is playing and working Anubis.
You mentioned at the start of this game, Shiro is probably feeling a little strange about the lack of focus on him, the lack of pressure on his shoulders, because inside of this team, Donk is taking that limelight and he seems to revel in it. Whereas over the years, we discovered Shiro doesn't exactly like it when the big lights are pinned on him. We haven't had to mention his name yet.
Well, it's a different team. He's going to be much more comfortable in this when he's got someone like Donk popping off. And in his previous team of Cloud9 and Gambit, I mean, he didn't have that supporting cast popping off when he needed them to help out.
I love what Pim said in the group stage. She says this could be one of the most baller moves for Shiro stepping down from Cloud9 that was a head scratcher for everybody, and makes the move to Team Spirit and suddenly has an upgrade.
Yeah, and they're firing on all cylinders, and look at the way they're forcing Falcons to just scramble for solutions. All 3 timeouts available to Zonic used in just 9 rounds of play. And they just can't find anything to slow down this Team Spirit machine. And so much of the conversation around nerves, around handling pressure, well, when you're this dominant, you don't have any cause to feel nervous, any cause to feel that pressure, because you're just running over them round after round after round.
And if you are Donk, you know, you've had no experience to humble you in this tournament. You've had no experience to humble you at all in the Tier 1 circuit. This is your first prestige playoffs, and you're 8-1 up. You better hope that that timeout for Falcons has given them an idea, an adaptation for the end of this half to scramble together and pick up the remaining 3. Team Spirit not going deep into the playbook. It's a default again. Donk will start towards Dark. Neo on his gun, and Neo awaits in the grand final. And currently looking in this kind of form that Team Spirit will join him there. Hands off the mouse, hands off the keyboard. Such a comfortable environment at the moment. Magisk flashed into A main. They don't want to just sit back. They don't want to give them all of the control, but as soon as there's a reaction, as soon as there's a move made on the map, Donk makes his play through Dark and breaks them apart in that opening. Second in for Dark, holds down Mouse 1, and even though he gets eventually traded, Zontics is right behind him, and Spirit break through B.
Yeah, he's done all the work nice and easy as they come at him, eliminates Snappy, and then just spots the follow-up swing from the defense at the perfect moment. Outplayed, and once again a situation where these remaining Falcons players just can't even think about attacking and actually going for this round. It's going to be 9-1. Here's the initial contact. And remember, I mentioned earlier, Donk's been doing this every single round, but very rarely has he spun in and actually been aggressive with it. This time catches Snappy not ready for the fight.
Nine to 1. We've had our fair share of one-sided playoff matches so far inside of the Spodek. I know it's still map 1 of this semi-final, but a tantalizing prospect in the grand final if Spirit make it through for the rematch versus FaZe. And everybody talks about how FaZe are a different beast on the stage. And so far, that swing has not hit.
It's a timeout, a second timeout used by Spirit. I'm not sure why. I don't think they really need it at this point, but maybe they just want to hang out and have some fun.
Yeah, just making sure they stay composed. Hallie's just going around the back of the team, drilling out his orders, the conductor of this machine.
2 rounds remaining in this half, and for Falcons, it's not even a recovery mission for them in these last 2 rounds. It's just give us some kind of a foothold, something we can work with in the second half, and hope and pray that we build upon that and come alive in that second half. But first, you need the rounds to toy with.
And we've been seeing Team Spirit play this controlled default on the T side, and Falcons didn't want to just let it happen, so they pushed. We've seen so many different attempts of trying to be disruptive on the CT side, throwing aggression in, but even that was failed.
That push has worked once and it's failed once, but there's only so many times you can execute a push like that. Like, Spirit is going to be ready and prepared, knowing how they've kind of executed a couple of times. So we'll see what Falcons bring to the table. Op still in the hands of Sunpius. He's got 11 kills. Drag and make it 12. Oh, the trademark Sunpius peak. And he's got 2 to open up round 11.
You need some life. You look to the sun, and you sprint straight through that window. Snappy looking to take a risk. It's Chopper this time. Up and Chop. Down Snappy. No problem for the in-game leader again, who's been winning that individual battle multiple times.
I think Snappy's seeing that Donk is eliminated, who's their dark player that we've seen harassing and pressuring that part of the map. Shiro as well, the Opera that might be far back looking for a push through dark. And Snappy sees a window of opportunity where maybe nobody's got their eyes on it, but Chopper shuts that down real quick.
But Senpais is repositioned. Sensing a weakness, an opening for Team Spirit through dark. Falcons look to plug it quickly. Boris was sent out to clear close angle. Zoltix, oh, peaks, but Senpais still flicks back. That's 3 in this round so far. But is he going to be able to reposition back to A in time? Is that where Team Spirit want to go? And if they do drop into the canal, well, Madden's moved into position now to watch that. Magix goes back, and he's going to be that only A player having to deal with Chopper and Magix coming into this.
Yeah, but this is such a solid position. This should be really well done. Magix has so many options in this position. He sees both. He can back away safely towards A main and play it really dynamically, delay as long as possible, keep them trapped inside the bomb site for his teammates to arrive.
Disciplined use of the smoke. Experience showing for Magix. Waiting on his teammates, knows they have the huge advantage in the player count. But Team Spirit, they're pushing forward. They're taking these fights. And suddenly just Magix again. Surely he can't clutch inside of this site a second time. And the answer to that is absolutely not. Madden takes him out towards heaven. And the second round, it was far hard for, but it's Senpais that gets them there.
I think that's the problem right now is across the entire Falcons team, you only really have Sunpius delivering when you need it most with all this experience, with Magis, with Boros and his skill, with Madden in the game he played yesterday. You're only getting Sunpius at the moment able to find any success and any comfort with the plays he's making.
And even though his kills look great too, there's been a lot of those being exit kills, just trying to save to his AWP. He's had multi-kills in those moments, but
and he had a
finding impact.
He had a critical miss as well in the first gun round. That's oh so long ago at this point. Final round of the first half.
And a change-up for Donk's early positioning. He's not towards dark this time. And Snappy knows that because he's pushed through Canal. He's taking a risk and he's running right by Shiro, who's smoked out. He'll use a nade, and Snappy now under pressure. How long can you keep your feet wet inside of the canal? Because you're being bombarded with utility. You're being pressured from multiple sides. And your support network of Boros is now being pushed back.
This is what I mean. This is the 3rd time they've ran it. And this time, look how passive everybody is when they see the Molotov, when they see the smoke come down. It's Zontix chucking nades from a distance, being very safe to any push out of A main as well. He knows exactly what that aggression looks like and doesn't take any damage for it.
Donk's about to round this corner at mid. Madden waits for him. Madden hits that headshot. Second kill this time for Falcons. They're not being broken apart in the mid position. Shiro decides to eradicate the defense though. When his riflers are down, it's the AWP that's come to play.
And now you've split the defense as well. A defensive smoke deployed. They're coming right through it. They don't want to wait. It's all on Boros.
That's a good first kill for Boros. Magix falls. Boros with the decapitation on the second. Just Zontix with a 1v3. Falcons so desperately need a 3rd round. This was not a good CT half, but it's doable if they win an extra round here at the end. And Zontix peeks towards heaven. Boros is slightly overextended, but it will not matter. He will secure a final round, a 3rd for the Falcons to close this first half. But Team Spirit, their first stage match is full of swagger.
Anubis was Falcons map pick, and they're down 3-9. Sun Pius, the only bright spot they have to look to. And for Team Spirit, we haven't even had to see, this is what's frightening, we haven't had to see the explosion of individual ability, of Donk's prowess, of Shiro's prowess, because it's been a calm, tactical, clinical victory and domination for them in the first half. Let's see what Falcons have, trying to come back here in the second half of this opening map.
And the opposite for Falcons in the first. Snappy showing evident frustration. I'm going to try and cool their jets with a pistol victory in this second half. Magix has detected that play early on. Boros running after him, trying to catch him with a Glock, but they'll retreat, they'll fall back, and that bomb plant will start to come through.
Retake scenario, let's see what they've got. Everyone coming from CT spawn. One player is going to come in with a late play towards Temple.
And Chopper, he's got that smoke, he's got the kit too. They've got extra seconds to play with here, Team Spirit, as they attempt this retake. Snappy sits at the back of the platform, and some Pius will deplatform Zontix. Good double headshot from the Chopper. The propellers are swinging, but it's Falcons that come through with the T-side pistol.
A spectacular again from Sun Pius. 18 kills now, quad kill in the pistol round to keep Falcons in this. That round loss could have buried them. It goes the other direction. And they get to start dictating things from the T side. Really well managed on both sides of the bomb site, peeking around, working with his teammates. And Falcons are still in this.
Team Spirit not going for the force buy. Falcons showed that they want to do that on the CT side, but Team Spirit have rounds to play with, so they feel comfortable taking a moment to let Falcons breathe.
Miss Molly for Snappy not going where he wanted. Miss Nate for Snappy not going where he wanted. So he'll hang out outside of Dark.
Yeah, fortunately for Snappy, it's not going to cost him too much. He's going to walk through towards Dark and pressure this B bomb site. There's 3 pistols here. He's either about to make a whole lot of money or he's dead in an instant.
He's got numbers, and then he just tells everyone else to move forward. Utility in place, and it should be an easy round here for Falcons. Magisk with the opening kill. Bomb will be planted. And no real danger of a retake with just USPs and a salvaged MAC-10. So Falcons won't hit any kind of a speed bump. They'll be clawing this closer, 5-9.
AK goes down. Boros gets aggressive, kind of his trademark.
Yeah, but that's a huge mistake. That'll be one that Falcons talk to him about this game, and they're like, we can't risk AK-47s, because now you've lost another. And now when this bomb goes off, Magix is going to be looking to recover that. So Boros, just a little bit of a misstep, could have a huge impact.
Doesn't always show restraint. And now they're hoping that that bomb blasts the AK onto the beach, so these pistols can pick it up and leave. They're hoping it blasts towards them. Will it? It blows into the corner, so a sprint from Magix to try and grab it, and he's got it. Boros gives them an AK-47. We'll see if that comes back to punish them.
Well, it's immediately shuffled down the line to Donk. Give him the 1-bullet headshot rifle.
Oh, God. Yeah,
Let's
when you're up against Donk and you give him an AK for his first gun round on the CT side. Better off showing restraint in the last round, though.
Yeah, that's a little bit scary, but I'm more interested to see what Falcons is going to come out with in this gun round. What kind of a fight are we going to get out of them in the second half on this T side? Can Snappy work them? Ents, when he was the leader of the Ents lineup, they were a very dangerous Anubis team. I'm curious what he's been able to do with this new lineup very early on. Remember, this is their map pick. There's a certain level of comfort that they had to have here on Anubis to pick this map. And Snappy can certainly call them back into this game.
Yesterday, it was simplicity. Yesterday, it was Madden on the T side, finding space, working gaps, delivering impact. So far, Team Spirit sitting back. They haven't given a single fight to Falcons early on, but they don't have information on this CT side. And Donk is becoming one of the best Dark players in the world. And now he's set up for a play with Magic's aggressive out of B main. Snappy realizes there's a gap to move through Dark, and possibly even more of a gap towards this A bomb site due to the numbers spotted. So Zontix, you said you're going to step up on the stage. Let's see if he really means it. Double kill, lines it up. Madden takes him out swiftly. Rotations coming through, and Donk is the first player to arrive. Here's that AK-47. Thank you very much, Boros. The Spawn Egg has its new sovereign. Donk.
That's really well. You got to give all credit to Zontix there, though. Yeah, the Donk kills at the end are flashy. Zontix has no utility. He's got nothing to slow down that hit. The fact that he gets a double out of this is absolutely wild. Nade on his feet, still manages the first fight, cleans up the second one as well. Pius couldn't handle it, and then Donk comes in for the cleanup. Doubled up on the scoreboard, 10-5. And Falcons very quickly brought back down to Tech 9s and a D-Gold, no AKs on the map. And remember, all 3 timeouts used in the first half.
So a quick call, nice and simple from Falcons, trying to break open this A site. Zontix goes 1 for 1. He gets early information on the amount of players that have pressured this bomb site, but it's about Madden on the flank. Shiro detects it, locks him out of the play. Boris has to send a shot right back and does so immediately. They're not calling it off just yet. They're repositioning. They're sending Donk to the beach. And he's joining up with Magix to come in with a double setup through heaven. Noise being made in the water. That causes the swing. Sampaius manages one, but again, it is Donk, even on low HP. But Boros eventually will take him out of it. And because of Shiro's initial damage, he cannot do this. He has to retreat.
It's all good. I think Team Spirit's saying we can kind of go for this retake, see what we get, because we're sort of playing with house money. We're buying in the next round regardless. Shiro's got plenty of cash for an AWP. He can drop that AK-47 over to a teammate. So Falcons not out of it just yet, but good to see a little fight back. Bum rush into the A bomb site, overwhelm the defense, and clean things up in the post plant. 3rd timeout used by Spirit.
Holly used them early in that first half. Now his last chance in regulation to take 30 seconds has passed. And so it will be for Zonic.
This is a critical round that could break Team Spirit's economy. Falcons have to know they've got that money at a breaking point. This is their path back in. This is their path to a comeback.
And we know they can close the gap quickly. MR12 allows that option. You can quickly lose a game and quickly find yourself back on your feet. Magix has to go to the shotgun. The XM 1014 makes an appearance in the semi-final. Double stack of grenades onto the head of Magix. No need to panic yet for Team Spirit. They started with 4 players towards the B bomb site, but that has shifted now as Chopper will leave.
There hasn't been a whole lot of pressure put on this B bomb site by Falcons throughout this game. We haven't really seen them flirt with it too much. Actually, they haven't really flirted with middle a whole lot either. A lot of the attention has been towards A main, but this time Madden's going to throw some utility to make Chopper feel the pressure. Feel like they're taking control of his part of the map. Once again, Zontix very early on as well is pretty much out of utility. 1 flashbang to work with when this smoke clears, so he's going to step forward.
Oh, he clears close angle, but there's plenty more players around that corner. Magix is probably closer than he would have expected. And when that flash in, Zontix thought he turned in time, but he turns back to a mouthful of lead.
I think he wanted to, he saw the map control utility in towards A main, and he thought if he went for some aggression after it, he could catch him off guard. Over the top of the smoke, Magix just walks right into it. And now Snappy's got the map under his control. He can work this defense how he chooses.
But he's got to cage up Shiro and Donk inside of this B bomb site. Shiro misses his shot, so it's Donk from the darkness, gets himself 1 more. But that's not going to be enough. That isn't enough to keep Team Spirit in this fight.
Well, they're still here, still fighting back. 7-10, Falcons within 3. The nature of this game has changed because Team Spirit is back down to saving. No money in the bank for a buy. And Falcons starting to warm up into it. And you can't say enough at this point for Sampaius, who keeps delivering. 23 kills to top the server. None of his teammates are even in double digits.
He's been their life support, just keeping them alive until hopefully the rest of his teammates show up. And so far, we're starting to see signs of that. Starting to see the Falcons get warmed up. And we know how sharp they can be when Snappy's at the helm of a T side. This time his grenades are better. He's made that adjustment. He's forced Donk back. He goes up against his D-goal, and it's still Donk. Even despite taking the initial damage and being under pressure, he gets away with one.
That was ugly from both players. I think Snappy's going to be frustrated he didn't clean that kill up with the MAC-10. All the advantages in the world, but that armor helps Donk out massively. 3 HP remaining. Can still be a nuisance during the chaos of an execute. But one of his teammates has gone down, and now they're encroaching from the B-bomb site.
And limited HP here for Donk. He is going to be absolutely annihilated by Boros. Magis moves forward. They've got the B-bomb site, and they've dispatched of the pistols.
Both defenses struggling on this map. It's been an offensive affair.
And that is what Anubis can be. And I start to raise concern about the fact that Team Spirit, this is a young roster. This is an inexperienced roster on a few of these players on this stage, and they've used up all of their timeouts already. So if it does get close, if it does come to the brink right at the end of this map, they don't have that moment to cool down. You've got to rely on the likes of Chopper to try and get them through this. And yeah, you mentioned probably going to be frustrated. There's your confirmation.
Yeah, that one will piss you off. 10-8 within 2. We just mentioned, due to the nature of the first half, Spirit never had to feel any pressure. Up 9-1 at one point. Well, now it starts getting a little nerve-wracking. Shiro's got the op. He's been quiet. We haven't had to say his name a whole lot in this map. When Falcons defense was struggling, the op on Sun Pius was peeking window, harassing them in canals, harassing them at the stairs. We'll see how Shiro decides to change his play style. He's brought the op over to the A-bomb site, where previously Falcons have been encountering Zontix with the rifle. That op could now be in position as well.
They move through the mid-smoke. Falcons disrespect the utility, and they've gained information, and now they've gained the element of surprise. Chopper had no idea. Absolutely no idea that Madden could be through, and he isn't stopping. Through the camera, he will run past Zontix's crosshair, and Zontix, oh, he struck the net. He's got away with a double still. And Madden is looking confused, makes up for his mess, but his teammates have to do the rest. He's with Magisk, and that kill from Donk has pulled it back in favor of Team Spirit suddenly, and they're in pole position to force 11.
Zontix just got the perfect kill that dropped the bomb, forced Snappy to go for it, which caused him to get spammed down through smoke.
Madden hasn't moved. He still stays in heaven. There's still time to play with to stay composed. And it's 2 players that embody that word, composure, in these moments. Utility placed to allow that bomb to get back into the hands of Magisk. Molotov to stop the push from heaven. And the plant will be put through.
A tough retake, but they have a man advantage. There's no kits, it'll have to be fast, and they're all here, and here we come.
Magisk 6 down at Cake, his teammate out at main. He's looking for this first fight to go his way. He stays composed behind the Cake and swings on out to his death. And Shiro makes the retake happen. This has pushed Team Spirit closer and closer to closing map 1.
That round is really an unfortunate sequence of events for Falcons in so many different ways. Spirit coming out on top of it, but you can still say they had the right call, Falcons. Moving through mid, they caught Chopper completely unawares on the timing. They had an exposed A-bomb site with just Zontix, but yet again he delivers another double kill. We mentioned he's one of the guys who said, I'm not worried about playing in front of a crowd.
It's not logical.
It's not going to be an issue for me. I'm going to step up, and he's backing those words up in a huge way.
And you're right, we have heard that many a time at this event, in particular from some of these rookie players coming out onto the stage, and then we see them crack under the pressure when they first feel it.
Not Zontix. I'll give him a lot of credit for that one. He has been some critical double kills in a tough position on Anubis at the A-bomb site.
Well, this is it, Jason. This is the final stand for Falcons. If they lose this gun round, money's back in the bin. And this map will surely be over. Spirit will be up 1 map in the semi-final. This is the Falcons pick. This is their playground. And so far, it's the kids having fun. It's going to be a slow round due to the positioning of the bomb.
Showing standard utility in middle as well. It's Madden working behind it. Solo. The bomb is still outside of the B bomb site on the back of Boros. So I would imagine Falcons is going to take control of A main, show their presence, take a little engagement, let them know, let Spirit know they're here, and back away to join up for a split at B. And it's pulling the defense, all this pressure. It's shifting Donk and Chopper.
Madden cannot stop that peak. Get donked. Straight through the play, 30 seconds left.
They're missing the window though. They need to hustle this up just a little bit. Magic has dropped back with an AWP. It's a double up setup. Now Magic has gone down. They need to get into this bomb site right now.
Falcons searching for survival. They'll drop out with that bomb, and that bomb is now on the ground and not where they want it to be. They've got to pick it up. Sampais is burning. He can't handle the heat. He can't handle the round. He's run away, and there's no time to plant. There's no time to win this. And even though Snappy gets a double headshot, 1 second ticks on, and the round is over. And after the time, it's a headshot nearly coming through here. Donk will not get that final piece inside of Dark.
Well, the fake doesn't work. Too many players picked off, nobody having success, and Spirit's able to shift back. 12-8, 4 chances to close out the map.
This is the swing. You thought Madden was going to hold the angle. And the questions about whether the update was going to nerf Donk, well, nope, not yet. Definitely not yet. And look what they've got now, Falcons. Boosting Sampais through the fire. He takes 23 damage and he can't handle the heat. He's out of there again.
I think they were doing that to get him a fast peek in Dark with the AWP, but man, all those Molotovs just ruining his day.
I hate to say it, but he did fly too close to the sun there, and he's out of there with 17 health. Flash around the B corner. Falcons look to burst their way through. There's not a lot of utility, which doesn't leave options.
No, it really doesn't let you make any kind of a complicated game plan across the map. And actually, Chomper being very aggressive. This is going to be a flash peek. Boros is playing anti-flash, but he's very close up. Here it comes.
Chopper swings, good flash for Falcons as Chopper's blinded by in that maneuver, and Donk has to be careful. He doesn't get timed on. He's having to worry about multiple angles, but they go by him. No scope from Sampais is an essential trade, but suddenly it is just Sampais and Madden. Falcons about to concede map 1. Magic's with a brilliant headshot. It's been so stylish from Team Spirit. They're in search of a grand final here in Katowice, bringing Donk onto the stage for the first time. And they're about to shoot down the Falcons on map 1. Madden wraps around the site. As it was clutch yesterday, we can't keep him out of any of these situations, but the time is becoming limiting, and Magix will remove him. It's Team Spirit 1 map up in this semi-final, searching for a grand final versus FaZe, and they're damn close to it.